All right, this house is getting a gutter upgrade. So this has the small K-style gutters on it. And it has the little 2x3s. The problem is leaves are getting caught in the elbows. So we're gonna prep it. We're gonna use the pipe that goes under the concrete because it's cemented in. We're gonna put our leaf filter with the 4-inch round. We're gonna prep it so that when the gutter company comes in the next couple of days, they can go ahead and put their half-round system in. It's gonna be a half-round gutter with a 4-inch downspout pipe. It's gonna be awesome. Here's a great example. This house has a lot of roof. There should have been a downspout here. There traditionally is. The homeowner did not want a downspout here, and I agree. Why, if you don't need it? But by eliminating this can't be a 2x3. You can't do that. When you're eliminating downspouts, you better at least go to a 3x4. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a 4-inch round come down. We're gonna put a leaf filter here. We're gonna have a not quite a 90 on it. We're gonna send the water on an angle underneath this retaining wall. Now the current underground system goes underneath the retaining wall and up. So the whole line holds water. Look how deep this is. And they just used, I mean, they didn't even want to buy anything more than a 4-inch grate. That's it. So this freezes up in the winter. And when there's a thaw, the gutters just pour over. That's why there's black streaks on the gutter. See the black streaks? That's from water pouring over. That's when you know that the water's pouring over the gutter trough and it's just flooding out your basement, your crawl space, just pouring right along the foundation of the house. Now here's another thing that I don't agree with. They tied this downspout on the sump pump discharge line. I do not agree with this at all. During a really hard rain, when this gutter downspout is maxing out this pipe, then your sump pump turns on, you're going to have the water coming out of the overflow. That's to protect your basement so that it doesn't flood. I don't agree with this. The other thing, this should be set up to where this pipe slips in and out. This 1.5 inches should be down inside this pipe about yay far. That way, when this settles, it doesn't come disconnected. This has all been glued. This is all done wrong. We're going to redo this as well. So we have a downspout in the corner over here. That's how far they ran it. That's not far enough. We got a concrete patio here. We have all this water dumping in high concentration right there. This ground is saturated. It wicks the water. The base material under the concrete is always going to be saturated. Come winter, it's going to freeze, it's going to heave the concrete, and it's going to crack the concrete. So we want that downspout all the way to the back. We're just going to run a brand new line under the deck from up in the corner there. We're going to get that water far away from the house. So this was ran right here, not far enough. And then to make matters worse, it's just flooding out the neighbor. So we're going to be responsible. We're going to get that water far away from this beautiful stamped concrete. We're going to grab that line. We're going to take that line back here. This line ran right to a pop-up over here. The grass grew over it. Something that we see all the time. We're going to end up using turf restrictor plates so that don't happen again. We're going to tie this one into this main line. This is going to become a 4-inch main line. And then we're going to grab this downspout right here as well. So we're going to have 3 downspouts on a 4-inch main line. We're going to take it to the corner, put it on a pop-up emitter. So this is how you find your pop-up emitter. All right, so that's how you find So there's probably a pop-up emitter in here that the grass grew over. Or maybe somebody did a mini dry well and just filled it full of stone. We see that, a drain line to nowhere. So this pipe is not even connected to a pop-up emitter. It's not even connected to a grate. I think they just poured a bag of pea stone in a hole.
Stuck the pipe in it?
Yep. What a mess. What a mess. The things that we see.
I'd say so.
Somebody paid a contractor to run a downspout system, underground buried downspout system, and this is how they left it. Man, we see all kinds. Man, I can't figure out.
Oh, there's something going on there.
I don't think they had a 90 and they had to use single wall pipe just to wrap around.
Goes that way.
Yeah, and it never was connected because look at all the air that you were blowing out, all the water and air.
I think that's a patch, like a...
Yeah, just a patch. All right, so you can see that we have the end of the pipes full of dirt. There's another piece of pipe. Who knows? All we know is we're replacing it. We're going to make it right. Now, this house is only 2 years old, and it appeared like everything was fine. But when we went and looked at it a little closer, we found all these different things that did not add up. And we're like, look, you really need to run a new system. That's the only way you're going to know 100% what you got. Now, this house was done by the builder. Obviously, these were contractors that the builder hired. And this is a really good builder, by the way, too. So, some of these things, you got to remember, the builder is dealing with a lot of contractors, and he's trying to make sure the house is built straight, and he's dealing with carpenters and tilers and, you know, people that are hanging cabinets, and it goes on and on. So, you trust that something as simple as running drains for your downspout lines can be done without you having to micromanage it. But this here is a disaster. I just want to show you guys what we find all the time. So we're trying to dig this pipe up. We're going to use the pipe that's going under the concrete, but the entire thing is crushed. Like, we unearthed it by hand, gently, and we can't even find a good piece of pipe to tie into. Now, this is that really cheap Home Depot pipe. You can see, you can just push it in with your thumb, see? See how soft it is? I'm just pushing it in and denting it with my thumb. Look at that. So, we kind of joke and say that pipe will collapse under its own weight. But I'm sure when they put the sod in and they brought something up here to grade with, that's what did it, I think. It never should have happened. The pipe is too cheap. They had to make it thin because the box stores, they take bids from the pipe companies. And they're not looking for quality in the bid. It's how cheap can you sell us this 50 or 100 foot roll of 4-inch pipe so that we can sell it and make money. That's what they want. They want cheap because they're going to charge you like $76, $78 for that flimsy pipe that only has probably an eighth of the material that our pipes have in it. And it's a shame. We see this all the time. That's why I'm now videoing it and I'm showing it and I'm just exposing it for what it is. Stay away from box store pipe. It's absolute garbage. It's going to fail you and it's going to cost you thousands in damage to your home. It's going to rot out your fascia board because you can't get the water off the roof. It's going to give you foundation problems because the water is going to pour over right alongside the foundation of the house. These are the things that happen. I've lived a whole lifetime of this. I'm trying to let you into our world so you can see what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. So we have a bunch of dirt that's going underneath the deck. We had settling right behind this house. Let me show you. So you can see the settling. Look at this. Right behind the back of this house. Look at that giant crater. New house, only 2 years old. So we're taking all the leftover dirt because when you put a 4-inch main line in, you're going to have extra dirt because that pipe takes up a lot of volume. So we're going to put all that extra dirt underneath the deck. We want to build this up on the basement wall. We want to fill in that giant hole and we want to slope it away. That way water is not running off the deck and outside of the deck and down in behind the house and making the sump pump work twice as hard. Okay, so we took some of our extreme duty solid pipe and we put one of our French Drain Man couplers on it. We're putting a not quite a 90 on it. We're going to put the female coupler on it. I don't like making 90 degrees ever. It slows the water down. So we have this fitting that's 80 degrees versus 90. It keeps the velocity up, it keeps the water flowing. So we have this super sticky, super stretchy 200-year plumbing tape. This is a watertight seal. You can use this tape in the rain, in the snow, it doesn't matter. So now we have that little piece of pipe that replaces that crushed piece of pipe. We have a really good coupler that holds amazing. And then we have our not quite a 90 so we can get this water down the side of the house far into the backyard away from all the structures. This home is a little higher than the house next door. We don't want to be dumping water and adding to a water problem that already exists. We overdug it so that we can get the roll of tape underneath the pipe. So I'm going to show you what we're going to have to do since we overdug this pipe. Whenever you overdig, put keystone underneath the pipe. This is a solid pipe, it's not perforated. But the pea-stone's going to roll under that pipe and it compacts 99% compaction. Do that. You don't want to pack the loose dirt under it because it'll form a belly and it'll create problems for you. So you found that connecting two pieces of pipe. They cut a piece of pipe and slipped it over two pieces of pipe and then they wrapped this is exterior wrap for new construction. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So this is the box store pipe. It's really thin, it's garbage, and then it wasn't even put together right. So if you hire a guy and he's not qualified to do underground drainage, and you just say, here, it's easy. Here's some pipe, here's some fittings. You know, I'll pay you hourly. This is what you get. These guys don't know what they're doing. So this is the sump pump discharge line. The downspout from the front run over here and tie into this. It's all glued together, so if there's any settling or movement during the freeze and thaw cycles, this is just going to crack and break. It was already leaking here. This is a terrible idea. This is a really bad idea. Do this. Never tie your downspouts into your sump pump discharge line. It's a terrible idea. They ran that front downspout all the way to the sump pump discharge line. They tied it in. They tied this back one in. Look at this gutter trough. This gutter trough goes all the way down. And it's a part of the front. That's a lot of gutter trough. All going to the sump pump discharge line. Now what's going to happen is it's going to be pouring rain. The downspouts are going to be dumping water. This is going to turn on, and this is going to be maxed out. So then it's going to be dumping right here, pouring water right at the foundation of the basement. You wonder why people have problems with leaks. Well, you invite those problems when you do things like this. When you're just dumping water. You know how much water that sump pump is going to pump out every cycle right on the side of the house when everything's maxed out? This is a terrible idea. Never do this. I don't endorse this. This is just a bad idea. To make matters worse, everything has been glued. There's no slip joint right here. So when there's movement during the freeze and thaw, or if there's settling, that could happen anywhere. You could be in Florida and you could have settling. You want to have your 1.5 inch pipe down in a bushing so that if it settles, it doesn't come apart because it's down inside, so it slips. That connection's got to be a slip joint. This is a really good example of all the things not to do. So we're pushing all this clean fill. We're repurposing it because there was so much settling under this deck. We're filling in this giant. It is just a giant crater. It's amazing. So we got to level that off. So this downspout right here, this was a belly. It went down and up. Then it came up. They went ahead and bent it down. So you got a belly underneath the cement. Then it came up, and then there's a high spot, and then it goes down. And it was crushed also. So Patrick's working on getting this sloped on 1%, real nice flat bottom, so this pipe ain't rolling. You want to make sure when you're digging this out that you're not just jumping on the shovel and just taking out big pieces of earth with the shovel. You want to be able to cut this down, get the slope just right, get a nice 1% slope to the main line. We're prepping this house for 4-inch round downspouts. It's going to get half round gutters with 4-inch round downspouts. It has 2x3 gutter downspouts that are too small. They're not keeping up for the amount of downspouts that are on the house. They should have been 3x4. This homeowner doesn't want leaves clogging at the 90-degree fittings anymore, so we're going with the 4-inch round. So this is how we prep it. When there's going to be larger gutters installed, we come and prep it so they can just drop the downspout in. That's it. That's all you have to do. The installers for the new gutters, they'll take care of the rest. These are going to get half round troughs. These are really small K-style gutters. And this is a really small 2x3 downspout. There's only 7 downspouts on this house. It's a pretty good sized ranch. So it should have had probably 9 2x3s. They got rid of a few. They got rid of a few. They deleted a few, which is common. People are trying to put less downspouts on a house, but when you do that, you need to go up a size. So instead of going up to the 3x4, we're just going to go to the 4-inch round on this. The half round gutter looks beautiful. It looks really nice on the house. They're going to be here in a couple days. I'll come back. I'll film this. I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, the guys did a really nice job. If this should freeze, then the water's going to come out the overflow. This already had an overflow, but this was all glued together and it was fixed. We didn't like that. We want this in a slip bushing so that when we freeze, if this moves or if the ground settles and this lowers, that it doesn't come apart. This will be really easy to clean out the leaves because we put it on a tall riser. This looks good. It's prepped, ready. Guys did a really nice job. Got a pop-up right here. Get that water off the house. This downspout used to go down underneath this retaining wall and then come back up. And I mean, it is ridiculous. So it's always holding water, it's always full of water, and it's got to come up 18 inches before it actually starts discharging the water. So that just freezes in the winter. And that's just something for the mosquitoes to fly down in and breed. So we're going to abandon that altogether. We went ahead and we put a pipe on a not quite a 90. We got the dual wall riser. We got that pipe on a perfect slope and then tied into that corner. Came out really nice. All right, this is the last you're going to see this house with K-style gutters and little 2x3 downspouts. It's prepped. It is prepped with the big 4-inch round cleanouts. Vented cleanout leaf filter. Vented cleanout leaf filter, gutter downspout adapter, all in one. So we dropped those in. Guys ran this pop-up far away. Got it all the way to the far back. This is prepped and ready. So they can just drop those 4-inch round giant downspouts to keep up with all this water that we have. You can see all the black lines on this gutter. You can see the water was just pouring over the side of the gutter. When your underground system's not working properly, that's what happens. The guys are piecing the sod back. Looks really good. Right here we have a riser. This riser goes up so that you don't have to go under the deck to clean the leaf filter. It's got to be 5 feet of riser, so it's real nice. You can just reach in there, clean out the leaves. Again, they're going to drop in a 4-inch round downspout, and these little K-style gutters are going to become half-round gutters. You can see the finished product when the guys are done putting the sod back. Here's the pop-up. This is the only pop-up on the market that you can get your hand down in, clean out tree buds, tree seeds, maybe some shingle gravel. Maybe you want to take your garden hose and just go up inside that line and wash any loose gravel down. Right here we got a leaf filter on that, waiting for the 4-inch round to be dropped in. Guys did a really nice job. This has all got to settle. That was a huge crater. We put a lot of fill dirt under there to fill that void. They already put the sod back out here. This came out really nice. It rained all morning and all night. It rained all last night too. So we need a good rain now to clean everything off. That downspout looks too, mechanical. Look at that. It looks just absolutely horrible. So we're going to drop the new one here and run it in a straighter line so that from the road it doesn't look as unsightly as that. This is pretty good considering it rained all last night and this morning. When we got here, it was raining. Guys did a really nice job. We're making big improvements on this house for the gutter system. The existing gutter system was a builder grade 2x3. It is definitely the most common here in Michigan. You guys are taking down the gutter system. It's a small K-style gutter with 2x3 downspouts. We're going to remove it, and then we're going to go to a half-round gutter system with 4-inch round gutter downspouts. There's nothing more efficient than a half-round gutter and 4-inch gutter downspouts. One of the negatives to the 2x3 downspout, they always plug up top. They always plug in the 90s. So you want to go to at least a 3x4. This downspout looks really mechanical. We got elbow, 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 elbow. It takes away from the house. We're going to clean that up too in this process. And you could end up with clogs everywhere there's an elbow. Leaves can get clogged. And a 2x3. 2x3s are really bad for clogs. We can see how small the outlet is on a 2x3 downspout. These are small K-style gutters with a really small, you can see, you can't get your hand in that. I mean, it's a tiny opening. Leaves will cover this, and then it'll plug the gutter trough. The gutter trough would then fill up with water. It gets really heavy at near 8 pounds per gallon. And this is what bends gutters and pulls them away from the house, makes gutters look unsightly. You can see there's a lot of shingle gravel in here. When you go to the half-round gutter, it's not flat on the bottom. It moves all that shingle gravel. See how small this outlet is? It's super small. Leaves float down here, cover this. That's it. Now you got water cascading over the gutter trough, flooding your basement or crawl space. Again, the flat bottom design of a K-style gutter allows shingle gravel to build up, kind of lay in the gutter trough. The half round will take care of that. We'll have a really good flow of water in the bottom of the half round. It'll always carry the shingle gravel out. We're not going to have to worry about leaves clogging the opening. That is such a small opening for these. You can see my hand size. You can see that opening. Leaves just lay over top of that. Now you got to get on a ladder to clear that. It's not ideal. We're going to go to a system where you never have to get on a ladder. You can do everything from the ground. In the corners of a square, everything for debris gets trapped. So the guys are working on the half-round gutter. You can see it doesn't have a flat bottom. Half round. Everything flows. Shingle gravel, leaves, everything flows right to the outlet. Having no square corners in the gutter trough keeps the debris flowing freely out the outlet. You don't have to get on a ladder. No need to get on a ladder anymore. You can maintenance it from the ground. Right there, look at that outlet. Just like our pop-up. Stick your hand down in it. 4-inch. No leaves are going to plug that. No debris is going to plug that. See how these drill shavings all just end up right in the center? It's not a flat bottom, it's a half round. So when there's water flowing and there's shingle gravel in the bottom of that trough, that half round like that, it just flows right on out to the outlet. Look at these outlets. This is insane. What a difference. That is just ridiculous, man. That's why nothing plugs a half round with 4-inch downspouts. So this gutter here is one piece, the whole length. This is going on the side of the house. No seams. It's not going to be dripping from anywhere. Right now they're caulking them up. They're caulking right around the outlet. And then they're going to caulk the end plate. That's it. That's the only place that it can leak. It's one piece. Look at that. That's what you want. One piece gutter trough so it's not dripping, staining the house, your fascia board, the eave. You don't want it to rot out your fascia board. I see that all the time. Look at that beautiful, beautiful half round. Look at this.
Oh, the whole thing. Whole thing?
Yeah. Big old outlet. See how they're caulking the end plates. No leaks. These guys will treat you right, Michigan. Doesn't matter if it's commercial, residential, they will treat you right. They run a professional operation. Now before this downspout is connected, I just wanted to show you, that's what it looks like when you have a 4-inch round downspout. That is ridiculous. No leaves can get stuck in that. Everything's coming down off the roof. Leaves, tree buds, you name it. No leaves get caught in those elbows. Giant 4-inch downspouts. Big tubes, soft sweeps. No debris gets hung up in there. No getting on a ladder. We're going to be able to filter out all those leaves right here, and we don't have to get on a ladder. This is the one that had all those elbows and it was going around everything and it was just awful. So got a nice straight shot, very efficient. It looks really good from the street. Such a massive outlet, it's just ridiculous. Compared to, like a 2x3.
The original ones, yeah.
That is just nuts. All All right, let's take a look at the finished product. Give you the nickel tour. Came out pretty nice. No way are these ever going to have a clog. Big outlets for the water and debris. Really big 4-inch downpipe. Super easy just to go around in the fall. Check these. I can put a garden hose through them, take that center out once a year just to chase any shingle gravel that might be in the line. And you can see that big half round gutter. It's going to move all the shingle gravel very efficiently. So what we did, we had a downspout that dropped under the deck. That was going to be a nightmare to check it for leaves. So what we did, but this came out really nice. Look at that. No way can this, look at this monster 4-inch downpipe. That's not going to clog. Nothing's going to get stuck in it. So we did a riser, a 5-foot dual wall riser. You can see it. It's insane. So that way, it's super easy just to go ahead, take the door off, clean it out, put the door back on. It's tucked out of the way. Real clean, real neat. Combination work of the French Drain Man crew and Great Lakes gutter. This home turned out amazing. This is as efficient of a roof runoff system as you can possibly find. Nothing is better than a half round gutter system on a residential home with 4-inch downpipes. Debris always gets caught in anything that's rectangular or square. When you go round, it works better. And then when you go half round with the gutter trough, even when there's a light rain, all the water is in the very center portion because it's not a flat bottom, it's a rounded bottom, and it carries all the shingle gravel right to the downspout. It falls down into the discharge line, gets caught in catch basins, pop-up emitters. This system is easy to access, easy to maintain. If you want to protect your home from water damage, this is how you do it. You don't hear water damage. It's silent. Not like your house caught on fire and you visually see it burning. That's not what water does. Water's silent. You don't know you have a water problem until after there's tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage done to your foundation. That's why it's important to take the roof runoff system seriously. Most problems come from your roof water. You can see we have a really long gutter trough down the side of this house. We got a downspout to the rear of the home. We had to work around the sump pump discharge line. I think the guys did a really good job, all things considered. We have a downspout on each end, 4-inch downpipe. Homeowners are always anxious to get new cabinets, to remodel the kitchen, the bathroom, to spend a ton of money on window treatments. I want to know, why do we cut corners on something as important as controlling our roof runoff and discharging it safely away from the structure? Our house is one of our biggest investments. For most people, it is their biggest investment. So why are we not protecting it? Instead of going to the big box store for our pipe, and instead of just using the builder grade roof runoff system, if you just buy really good quality components and hire good quality contractors, and you do it right the first time, I promise you, 25, 30, 35 years from now, the underground and the gutter system is going to be protecting your investment. It's still going to be working as good as the day it was installed. I see it all the time. It's worth spending the money on quality. Now we can get in this system, clean it out from the ground, and we'll never, ever have to climb up on a ladder to maintain this system. That's worth a lot too, because 35 years from now, you probably will not want to be up on a ladder. When you want it done right the first time, give French Drainman a call. We have been protecting homeowners' castles for 39 years. The most dangerous thing a homeowner can do is go up on the roof to maintain the roof runoff system. You can do it from the ground. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comment section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.